We're back with another top 5 mints of the week. This is another really good week for mints. There's plenty of really hyped up and really interesting mints happening this week. So I'm looking forward to sharing them all with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. This is not financial advice, all that stuff. But with that said, let's just dive straight into it. Alright, and the first project we have today is Launch Labs. They are minting on October 8th, so towards the end of this week. They currently have 21,000 followers. You might know that this is an already existing project. If we jump over to Magic in real quick, their first collection is currently sitting at 8.74 Solana floor price, over 13,000 Solana in trade volume, only 35 listed out of a 2,000 supply. So obviously this collection is super successful. What they've been doing so far is basically having their own launch pad, launching tons of different Solana NFT projects, but they're now coming out with their Gen 2 collection, which will be a PFP collection, because as you can see, their first collection was not a PFP collection. So I think it's really cool that they're coming out with a PFP collection, and with that new Gen 2 collection, they are also coming out with 4 new Web3 services that they will be providing to other projects, and therefore also 4 new revenue streams that they will revenue share back to the holders. How the revenue share will work is that all the revenue from the already existing launchpad will still only go to the Gen 1 holders, while the revenue from the 4 new services will be split between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 collection. So therefore the Gen 1 collection will still be the most valuable one, but I think the Gen 2 collection is really interesting as well. So let's jump into some details. First of all, what are these new services? Well, the first one is auction system as a service, basically building different auction websites for different NFT projects. They also have raffle system as a service, they have staking as a service, and last but not least, they will also have a mutation system as a service for other projects. And obviously this team is really talented. They have had a successful launchpad for a long time. They minted their first collection back in like February or March or something like that, and they have launched tons of really impressive projects on their launchpad over this past like 6 months. Now jumping over to their Discord, they do also get really impressive engagement here in their Discord, and as you can see, they are minting for a price of 1.2 Solana to 1.5 Solana, and this is basically what their new artwork looks like. Personally, I really like it. I think these are some really cool PFP characters. You have another one right here, kind of Doctor Strange theme PFP. This coral one looks really cool. So overall, they're like fairly simplistic characters, but like really high quality and definitely really solid PFP material. They did also recently announce an exclusive partnership with Airways. Basically, to go over some quick details, Airways is a newly launched initiative by veteran entrepreneurs focused on connecting the world's greatest athletes with their most enthusiastic and engaged fans. And they have already signed some pretty big athletes, garnering audiences of 40 and 50 million people. So they will bring these athletes into the Web3 space and work with Airways to basically make this happen. So overall, I'm really excited for their upcoming Gen 2 like PFP collection. The art looks great. They have had a successful revenue sharing business since February with their launchpad, but they're now implementing 4 new services and 4 new revenue streams to share with their community as well. And they're just a team of builders that I believe in long term. So Launch Labs is the first project in today's video. Now moving on to project number 2, which is another super exciting one, and it's Rifters, bringing death, destructions, and mayhem to all NFT projects across all chains. The world's first mass online community event role-playing game. And this is from the team behind Community 3, so you already know that the team are super experienced, they're super talented, and this project is launching on October 3rd for 10 Solana. And you might think that 10 Solana is crazy, but I mean, after researching this more, it's really not. First of all, it will be like a massive community game, and the prize pool is $1 million, and they're basically working with these 10 different communities. This is kind of what their artwork looks like. And by the way, they also have a supply of 7,777 NFTs, and their first mint is happening on Solana, but they will actually launch on 4 different chains, I believe. Not all at once, of course. Their first one is on Solana, and then they will do their next one in probably like a few months or so. They get crazy engagement because this is such a unique and different type of project, and they're just going pretty crazy right now. It's honestly pretty hard to explain their entire project in just a few minutes in this video feature. So obviously the link is down below, so you can go and check it out further and do like a proper deep dive yourself. But Rifters is probably the biggest and most anticipated mint happening this week, and I'm super excited for it. I will mint it myself. Alright, moving on to the third project, we have Trog, minting on October 4th on Hyperspace. Taking a look at some sneak peeks, this is basically what their artwork looks like. It's super different and unique. Personally, it's definitely not like my favorite artwork artwork that I've ever seen, but it's pretty decent art and definitely really unique. They are minting with a supply of 7,171 for a mint price of 1.11 Solana. Now, to be fair, 40% of the supply is actually already sold in a private sale, as you can see right here. Now, Trog is basically like an educational project, basically focusing on educating their community, and they are building in days, which is the first Web3 focused learning platform initially on the Solana blockchain, but not limited to it. So overall, I don't really know what I think about these like educational projects. I don't know if projects with these sorts of utilities will do like super well long term. It's hard to kind of know, but overall it for sure is a really interesting mint happening this upcoming week. But anyways, moving on to project number 4, we have Patches minting on October 6th. They are minting with a supply of 6,666 NFTs for 1 Solana for OG, 1.25 Solana for whitelist, and I don't know what the price is for public yet. Probably still 1.25, maybe 1.5 for public, but they are launching on the Solport launchpad. Now, they do seem to have pretty good engagement both in Discord and on Twitter, which is nice to see, of course. Taking a look at their roadmap, it includes things such as staking. They have puzzle utility, Cody sweep, mega site, but one of the most interesting things is basically this first NFT exchange. We are building the first NFT exchange. Welcome to the Tether NFT era. For example, you will even be able to get 0.0001 DGODs with this utility. So basically, they're fractionalizing NFTs is what I understand this as. So, you know, similar to Bitcoin, where you can buy 0.001 Bitcoin and you don't need to buy like an entire Bitcoin, this will basically allow you to buy fractionalized shares of blue chip NFTs. And that's definitely pretty interesting because there are tons of people out there that can't afford a DGOD but would still love to like have exposure to it in some sort of way. So if they're able to do this in a successful way, it's definitely a pretty interesting utility. Now, this is what the artwork looks like. It looks pretty crazy, pretty like trippy looking kind of. So overall, Patches is for sure another really interesting mint happening this upcoming week on October 6th on the Solport launchpad. Now, the next project we have is Flask Keys, also minting on October 6th, and they're minting on the Trust Labs launchpad because they are actually working with Trust Labs with Dr. Solana and Spoon, which is really nice to see because there's been a lot of Trust Labs projects that have been performing really well. They currently have 23,000 followers. They get good engagement. Now, price and supply is yet to be announced, so we don't really know that yet. And this is kind of their initial roadmap. They don't go too into detail with this, but basically they have phase 1, which is landing and mint. They have phase 2, which is community, phase 3, which is Flask Laboratory, phase 4, which is Flask Planet, and phase 5, which is the Flask Keys token. And these are some sneak peeks of their artwork. Nothing crazy. It looks like pretty simplistic, but overall it's like decent artwork. Nothing too insane in my opinion. And to quickly end this video, I do have 3 honorable mentions. First of all is Cyberbonks. I did actually feature this collection in previous week's video because they were supposed to mint on September 30th on the Hate Swap launchpad, but the Hate Swap launchpad was probably not ready or something like that, so they have changed it to the Solport launchpad, and they are now minting on October 3rd. Next up, we have Saki, which is another pretty hyped up collection. They were also supposed to mint like last week. I did feature them in last week's video, which is why I didn't want to feature them too much in this video, but they did delay their mint to October 8th, so this is for sure another really interesting mint happening this week. Now, there has been rumors about it being a rug just because they have been copying Yukayo pretty much for a lot of things, so definitely be careful. But these guys are also launching on the Solport launchpad for 1.85 Solana with a supply of 5,555. And the last honorable mention we have is Primordials, however you say that, minting also on October 6th with a supply of 10,000 NFTs for 1.5 Solana. So those are the projects that we have today. It's definitely going to be a really interesting week for mint. I'm really looking forward to it. I will definitely mint some of these myself. But anyways, if you got any value from today's video, do remember to smash a like and subscribe down below because it helps out the channel tremendously. The links to all of these projects is down below in the description if you want to check them out further. So is the link to my Patreon if you want to join that, my Twitter, as well as my open Discord. But with all that said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and I'll see you guys later. Peace.